you'll see me interacting with Harley. Harley is a 22-month-old Aussie Doodle. He was just brought here for a 2-week board and train process in needing of some relationship change. So he's really kind of stressing in the crate quite a bit. So here I just brought him out, beginning to advocate change by way, again, of specific interactions that are going to change his perception. It's going to start to him becoming more agreeable, releasing stress off of him. So here, same thing as I'm interacting with him right now. This is more about just kind of de-stressing him a little bit, starting to get him to come into agreement and see and start to change to perceiving me the right way. And so as I bring him out here, notice again, I put a pressure collar on him, but what I'm doing is I'm just taking my time. So when I bring him out here, he just dropped off about 10 minutes ago. So this is just brand new for him. I just want to kind of show how you want to interact with say a new dog. And this is where the trust issue too. When people look at, well, the dog doesn't trust Dale yet and all these different things. No, he knows I'm taking over right away. But again, in terms of stepping into that role, now notice right there's a little moment where he wanted to go down. I prevented that. Again, putting him under a little bit of influence. Now here's the thing, he wants to go down on his own, but watch this, if I want to put him into a down, right? I'm putting him under some influence, he isn't going to go. Think about that. So this is about power play. That's a great example of him wanting to go down on his own, but when I begin to change, because understand, as I'm pushing here, he knows the intent. It's not like he doesn't understand because I'm pushing, or I haven't said a word, right? He knows by way of how influence, the direction it's happening and how I'm interacting. He knows exactly what I want, but he's not agreeable to it because it's about losing control. Okay, it's a great example of that. So when you see a dog going down on their own, and then you switch it up like this, you're going to start to understand why you want to interact with dogs the right way. Okay, it's all about the role of influence. So right here, I'm still pushing on his shoulder blades because this is a healthy thing to do with him. To start to get a state of mind in, start to take some stress off him. So I'm just going to keep pushing a little bit. I'm locking my shoulder blades in. I don't expect that he's going to be going into a down perhaps, but it's good to start to do this a little bit with him. So I'm just pushing, not pushing hard. I'm not trying to cause a high level of conflict with him. I'm doing it because I know that he's going to be somewhat accepting, so I know I'm not going to get bitten or anything like that. So I'm just starting to engage a little bit. But I just want to show that example here. Now I'm going to move forward with him. Then use the pressure collar, bring him forward, put him into a sit, do a little push-pull, and then a little nudging if needed. But again, just taking my time. This is kind of like almost like a de-stressing moment. Like if you go back and watch the board train I just did with Puddles and with Bella, it's the same type of interaction right at the beginning. Starting to advocate properly. Harley's beautiful dog, Aussie Doodle. Great looking dog. So this is just about a relationship problem. He was, stressing coming in here because again, it's a big transition for me to take over. But again, it's about how I take over. It's just about doing what's reasonable. But this is a great example, just taking my time. So again, this is just like the first interaction. I brought him right out right away to help him cope a little better with the crate. And bring him back into the sit. But notice how I'm pushing, just easy. Push, pull, not hard. Now he has a pressure collar on. I don't want to pull up too hard on this because, again, I'm barely pulling up. Okay, and even here, for example, when I'm using the pressure collar, people call it choke chain. You call it different things. But it's not about choking dogs. Okay, it's about being proactive with using it so that they're more agreeable. So I'm just hanging out here. I'm going to interact with him a little bit here, just so you can kind of see 10 minutes into this. Again, I'm going to put him back into a sit. Push, pull. Again, I'm not saying commands that way, okay, because he understands the intent. Not petting him. Okay, beautiful dog. People want to pet. You might look at that and say, oh, that's a great moment. I want to pet on him. Don't do it, okay, because this is about de-stressing the dog. If you pet on him, it changes, they start to become empowered through that because it's context. Emotion, once a dog has control, leads to control problems, okay. They'll excite the dog. He'll start, and then you'll be in conflict because you're sending him a double message. You have a relationship problem. You need to reverse everything, so it's about leadership. So I start to move a little bit with him. So moving here with him a little bit here. Put him into a sit. little push-pull. Got to put some down pressure on him. This will help with the crate. Line this up so when I'm using the remote collar for vibration, okay, this is helpful to start to advocate to the method because it helps to really line up the remote collar. Just pushing, not hard. That's go down, I release it, move forward with him again. It's not about him winning that way, just about starting to assert. Same thing, see how I'm just pushing on his bum, not hard. Don't want him not pulling up hard here either on the choke chain. See that just, once he buckles, see, buckles, the little push-pull, not hard. And see, it just draws his focus onto me. A little tap will leash if needed. So this is just like this is like more de-stressing. There isn't high expectation here. I'm just taking my time. Just moving here a little bit. This is just kind of getting the foundation, thinking, moving forward. So stop pretty quick. I'll put him into another sit. I'm going to put him back in the crate here and pretty quickly here in a couple minutes. Once I just do a cycle through this a little bit. This is just about him getting to know me and lining this up this way so he becomes more accepting of the crate a lot quicker. Because again, you put him in the crate, see, it's better to interact pretty quickly if you can. Again, beautiful dog. Again, just tap a little bit, just taking it easy. Smooth and fluid, you know, that's important, just smooth and fluid technique. Thumb goes in, a little push-pull. I'll put some more down pressure onto him. This helps to really line the stuff up in terms of advocating properly. Now just down pressure, I'm putting my shoulder. He's starting to buckle a little bit here. There we go. There we have it, perfect. And now here, this is where you want to stop. I want to stop here, take a break, and just hang out for another, 30 seconds and really help to de-stress them. This is the perfect position. Again, this is just a few minutes into this, and this is great. So right here, just taking, now here's the thing, this is where it transfer over to. Like when people wonder when dogs go from a down like this and then start to resist coming up, it'll start to turn into this thing about control again pretty quickly. If that happens, you can kind of kinetically, I can move him a way to help get him up. Same thing, if I want to get him up here, then go, see just a tiny bit, I'm just moving the leash that way a little bit, kinetically, back into the sit, a little push-pull. There we go, move forward one more time. Again, it's important always to do the same thing. See, this is the thing about him making sense of the language of the method. I'm doing the same thing each time. It's not erratic. So if you're interacting with the dog and you're all over the place, and the dog can't figure it out, but then you're going to go into high conflict. So when you do this type of interaction-based approach, it's the same step. You see me doing the same sequence each time, and therefore the dog becomes very agreeable to it because he's saying, you know what, Dale's doing the same thing each time. It makes sense. Same thing, just interrupt it. And same thing here, being dialed in. Same thing right here. See how I'm just tapping a little bit? Watch him change. See how he's changing here? The direction of his mind. See just a little bit of a nudge. Just saying, hey, don't invest with your knowledge. He's trying to figure things out here, but I'm just laying the foundation to say, hey, I'm in control. This is what's reasonable. He's doing really well. So again, doing great. He's just been here a few minutes. I'm already advocating, and so again, a lot of these interactions is the same as you saw with Bella and Puddles. It's the same interactions over and over and over again. Expanding from there, other dogs, people, situations. The crate lines up. So just starting to advocate because again, it's taking stress off of Harley as we move forward as well. So he's doing really good. Thanks for watching.